Hey there, Roger Corey with you. I want to set the stage for what you're about to experience during this real-time market forecasting demonstration, which was recorded in front of a live audience. Now, I want to save time and get right to the main points which highlight a very powerful and critical experience that every trader and active investor needs to have, but until now, it just wasn't possible. So I've edited out a lot of the details of the forecast and the outcomes from that session to keep it as short as possible for you. Now keep in mind that the purpose of the demonstration isn't to teach the details of how I'm doing what I'm doing, but rather that I'm able to do what I'm doing confidently, with a great deal of accuracy, with consistency. Because consistency is critical to your long-term success, isn't it? And that's the kind of reliability and confidence that you need so that you can deeply trust and feel confident in your analysis whenever you're making a buy or sell decision. Because you'll know that 80 to 90% of the time, you're going to see your forecast successfully follow through. And of course, it's just as important to continue to have that clarity and the confidence whenever you're managing an existing position, right? And it's that degree of confidence and consistency which you'll see displayed today, that enables me to do what I do so boldly in front of others, and I have been doing so since 2011. So as you watch, keep in mind that all calls in my forecast were done live, as always during real-time market action in front of a live audience. Now, due to the highly proprietary nature of my analysis tools, they'll be concealed, so you won't see my analysis tools displayed. However, what you will see as I demonstrate its value to you is what they'll enable its user to do with them. Okay, and that's the point, isn't it? So let's get started.
And there's Google. I'm just doing this just to make a point here. What is the current date and time? All right. It's 4:23 p.m. It's Sunday afternoon, February 26, 2017. I'm in Chatsworth, Los Angeles, and if you look here down at the bottom right-hand side, you can see that that's coinciding with my computer's time clock. Okay, so that's just a way for you to know that I'm playing honest and see if what I'm doing is consistent, right? Because I can't fake, I can't hide behind live. Okay, and there's no better way to prove anything than do it live in real time. We're going to be going higher here. So you see this area here? I'm going to highlight this real fast. That level in the market, we're going to be breaking that. We're going to be moving higher here. How do I know that? How do I know that this is not a top? How valuable is it for you to know that the market's actually producing a false top, a false signal? Right? Think about that. If we can eliminate the low quality, low probability opportunities, the ones that are going to struggle and eventually fail, if we had a way to measure and value that objectively, consistently, reliably, right? Then by definition, we should be able to actually filter out the opportunities that are likely to struggle and fail before we commit and get stuck, thereby avoiding the stress because we're no longer guessing and hoping, and that's how we don't engage the market and gamble on outcomes. So the market does not have to be a gamble in this big risky place. It's really a lack of information, lack of understanding what makes the market move here. So we're going to be moving higher. How much higher can we expect to go? Price is going to be moving into that zone. Now that doesn't have to take all that time, by the way. That's not the point of this, and that's not what I'm trying to do right now. Although there's an aspect in which we could do that as well. It just takes a little more time. I don't want to do that. But the point is we're going to be moving up in this area. Okay, let's just go ahead and mark this for you. Now, again, I'm trying to demonstrate something, but I want to make an example here. This area that I just drew a box in represents where I'm willing to enter the market in from as long as the market crosses into this area here, and I'm getting triggered right now, literally. Now, the same distance, okay, watch this. Let me copy and paste that so I have a duplicate copy of this box, okay? I'm going to take that and move that forward. I'm going to move that over this way here. Now notice how that same distance where that blue line is essentially my one-to-one. I want to have a minimum of a one-to-one risk to reward. I never want to risk more than what I'm able to make. So here's just a real-time example. If I'm wrong, I'd want to exit right here, okay? So if the market moves down lower and hits this area, that's where I'd want to exit. That's my stop loss. And at size no larger than 2 to a maximum of 3% of my entire investment capital, that's my maximum risk. All I can lose is 2 to 3% depending on how much I size my position for, and if there's any little slippage that occurs, I don't have to take these large inappropriate risks of 10, 15, 20, or 30%. Nothing that's going to be detrimental, traumatic to me. Okay, but this is important for you to see. So first of all, by the way, if you had gone short, remember this turquoise line here? Remember this area here? All right, let me just kind of remind you this area right here. I told you that if you were taking a short, that this is going to be a false top, you would have been stopped out right now. Okay? How valuable is it to know where the market is going to go? How valuable is it to know where the market is not going? Okay, so I just told you where the market's not going to go lower right now during the time that we're together. It's going to be moving higher. We've reached at least a minimum of a 1-to-1. You would have had a confident experience. Didn't worry about and stress over this little retrace that occurred over here in this area here, because your data was telling you that the odds of it coming and hitting your stop loss were very low to unlikely, so that wasn't a stress-filled event, and so that's really important, right? Confidence. You want to be confident. In the market, we let the market work for us. We let it come to us. We don't sit there chasing the market, chasing money, chasing moves. That's actually counterproductive. And notice, by the way, when we started and when we look like we're about to wrap up, right? What is the current? So now it's 5:23. And again, you just look at my time clock here. I'm doing that, being a little bit silly about it, just so that you're realizing there's no trickery here. It's 5:23. But think about what we're doing here. We're shifting our focus. Instead, we're focusing on opportunities that are not likely to lose us money. Everything will look different from that perspective.
I hope this opens your eyes to a whole new way of accomplishing your goals. Imagine the world of opportunities and possibilities that this solution opens up for you. But there's literally hundreds of recorded forecasts like this. All right, I record all of them, which I've been archiving since I've decided to start sharing my proprietary methodology back in 2011. Now, my partners and I regularly do live forecasting with our clients and private community for training, review, and reinforcement purposes. And we found that having these types of live, real-time market experiences where people can verify what's happening in the market right in the moment, well, you just can't beat that for proving the legitimacy and the unwavering robustness of my analysis process that reliably produces the kind of objective market clarity, the consistent range of experience, and the confidence that people need and want. It's all about having a dependable range of outcomes through a systematic process that doesn't and won't change every time the market does. That's the key to consistency and long-term stability that you can sustain. But be careful not to think that this is some get-rich-quick solution. There's no such realistic option without doing foolish and irresponsible things. This is about having a stable and steady experience that you can build into something meaningful that you can sustain and have the time freedom and financial security through. Remember, just because we can forecast a market's move doesn't mean it represents an opportunity that will provide a smooth, positive experience with enough return for the risk and time we would need to take into account. The key here is to avoid unnecessarily challenging opportunities so we aren't being stressed and tempted towards emotion-driven actions, which will ultimately lead to deteriorated outcomes, and that will lead back to the inconsistency that's so common for everyone else. If having and maintaining a positive experience through high quality, consistently high probability outcomes is what you desire so that you can confidently hit your financial goals with minimal time or stress, then today will become a turning point for you because you'll finally have the breakthrough that you need. Now, as you go through the information on this page and you choose to watch the proof elements that matter to you, I want you to make sure not to miss the popular Apple forecast I did, because in it, I made a point to display the level of precision the tools provide you at every decision point in the market. And then a little further down from that video will be a short session that my partner Bo did with a gentleman who wanted to compare how different the trading experience can be using my model versus what he was used to as a trader on his own. So it's a great example of a day in the life of a trader using this methodology. So look for that just down on the page here. By the way, what's particularly helpful in that session is that Bo will go over a little more about how we do our analysis and what it looks like for us. All right. And incidentally, whenever you hear another voice in some of the before and after forecasts you'll see displayed on this page, that's going to be Bo's voice as well. All right. Just for reference. So that's it for now. Go ahead and get through the information while it's being made available. And remember, you no longer need to have another letdown or bad experience with your trading efforts.